If you're new to the Division 2, just like I was 3 weeks ago, you might be looking for some tips to help you along the way and give you a little bit of a smoother ride in the game. So because I'm the kind Samaritan that I am, I've decided to put everything I learned from level 1 to level 40 into one video. Well, at least enough to help you along the way. Now, the number one thing you definitely need to know is just enjoy the damn game. It's a hell of a lot of fun. The main story's a lot of fun. You're going to enjoy it. The main story will run you through this game literally like a tutorial. But beyond that, there's a lot of things in this game that can maybe trip you up a little bit, like the gear. The number one thing I learned with the gear is just put on what you want that's highest level. The gear grind from level 1 to 40 just really doesn't matter that much. Like, that gear is going to be obsolete and not used once you hit level 40. So as long as you're putting on the next strongest thing, within reason, if you don't like using snipers, of course that does more damage, but just put on the next SMG or assault rifle as you go through that you enjoy using, and just put on the highest level of stuff. Genuinely don't really worry that much about gear. Be intrigued, look at it, enjoy all the gear that's dropping, but the highest level kind of equals the better damage. So just stick with that. Also, when it comes to gear and inventory, do not miss out on these caches. I missed out on them a lot at the start of the game. You're going to get milestone ones, especially the milestone for level 15 is absolutely huge and will carry you for a long time in the game. Just make sure you come on here and open them. You get them pretty much from doing most missions. You're going to be given one of these proficiency caches, and then you'll get a milestone one at like 15, 20, 25. Those ones have the big boy loot in them. Do not miss out on the caches. And of course, the cache is going to help you out massively when it comes to gear, but you might want to mod your gear to improve it. Doing the projects for each place, for each base, is a great way for you to do that. And all it takes is just donating some of your stuff. And once you've done that, you're going to be able to come over to the crafting bench with the blueprints that you've got and just craft all of these. And these are going to help you massively, because it's going to allow you to be able to mod your gun like we've done to this honey badger right here. So I've got 30% extra accuracy. I kind of always go for the critical hit damage, but you could go for chance instead. I also have an extended mag on this gun so that I have 15 extra rounds to give me just, I don't know, more bullets. Doing those projects early on are so simple. They're so easy because you're going to have a lot of loot that you can just pump into them. It's a worthwhile investment at the early stages of the game. Another worthwhile investment is obviously as the map starts to open up, you go to these safe houses. They're great for fast travel, but if you didn't know, you can go and take over control points. If you have a friendly control point, you can instantly fast travel there. You're going to get great gear from the supply room when you take over it. Plus, I mean, I love control points in this game. It's one of my favorite activities, which is weird because you just run around the map and take over these points. But do them. They're a lot of fun at the start of the game. They're great for gear, and they add a fast travel point. So you have a main mission that isn't next to a safe house like this one. That would be a long run from the safe house. Just go and take the control point. Just, honestly, they are great for maneuverability around the map. And all round, just good fun to play. Another great thing as well that I like to do around the map is the bounties. The bounties and the control points are going to help you massively with your XP, but also the bounties are, again, they're a lot of fun. You just click on the bounty, you pick the one you want. This one's Beta Company. I activate it, I matchmake it, I go for the bounty. Kill the enemy, get good loot, get good XP, and, I mean, they're fun. Who doesn't want a marked target to have to go and hunt down in a time span? And of course, those things help you level up quicker. If you do come over and look at the event timeline, it will tell you when there is going to be XP events. Like right now, there's a season event that gives us 3 times XP. You're going to find it a lot easier to level up. You're going to hit level 40 way before you finish the main story. But again, that doesn't really matter because I finished the main story after level 40. Anyway, so just keep your eye out for the events timeline. When you see these, like there's another one here, Conflict XP event, just look out for them. They're going to be really helpful in leveling up quick. Now, this next one might be a little bit controversial, but for me, it can be quite confusing. And there is actually no need to even look at it until you finish the game. Apart from doing the mods, crafting. You don't need to do it. There's no need for it. The only time you should ever come to this bench is to upgrade it and to just get mods for your guns. You do not need to do crafting in the early game. In fact, I don't really do any crafting now, but you don't need to do it in the early game. The tinkering station is the same. Don't overload yourself with information. This is a hell of a lot to take in. when you first start out the game. And in the first like 20, 30 hours of the game, to be honest with you, these things do not matter until you hit level 40, in my opinion. Now, of course, as a beginner to the game, it wouldn't make sense if I didn't go over any of the combat tips. And the number one tip in this game is cover. This is a cover shooter. Cover is your friend. Use it often as possible, especially in the early game when you're learning how enemies react and how they maneuver. It's a lot easier just to pop in cover, hit reload whenever you need to hit reload, and you can even hold down the cover button to advance your movement into next cover where you will take less damage. I would recommend this massively when you first start out the game. I am now going to have to take these out, but you understand that cover just generally is your best friend. And there is never going to be a reason, in my opinion, not to use it. This is an event that's going on right now, by the way, and I hate it when it does that. The snipers shoot that arrow, and it drives me insane. But this is the event at the moment, and it's actually really sick, but that's not what this video is about. Get away from me, sir. It's that robot wars. Now, as you do get more advanced, though, cover doesn't need to be used, but you're not there yet. At the start of the game, just use it. Now, next on the combat front is going to be your skills. There's actually a whole host of options when it comes to the skills, and I will be honest, every single one of them are viable. But when you're first starting the game out, I would definitely recommend sticking to just a few. I started with the Seeker Mine, but I'm not sure I'd recommend that as one of your starting ones. The drone and the turret are absolutely fantastic when you're learning about cover and learning the shooting mechanics, because they're going to do a lot of the killing for you. And that's why I definitely recommend that the first two things that you pick up is the drone and the striker drone, which I think you might get given straight away at the start of the game. I picked up the sniper turret to start with, but if I was going back to the beginning, I would just pick up the assault turret. The assault turret and the striker drone are definitely the two best ones to start with. And then once you get maneuvering a little bit, I would definitely pick up the shield. This can be used with assault rifles, shotguns, SMGs, those kind of weapons. It can't be used with the heavier weapons, but this gives you a little bit more safety when you're trying to be mobile on the map, trying to take out as many enemies as possible, and actually ends up becoming one of the core skills that you're going to use later on in the game. Again, builds for all of these are viable, and they all have their uses. I used the Firefly for the longest time. I use the Hive now for the Revive, which is absolutely fantastic, but I just think in the early stages of the game, you don't need all of that. You'll be absolutely fine with the turret and the drone. Also, as you start making your way through, you're going to get skill mods for these. I didn't know how these worked for the longest time. When you come on this screen, if you're on PC, press F, but it'll just alert you down below on how you mod it. And then if you've got the mods, you just click on it, you choose the mod you want. I'm going to whack this one on. Lovely, the mod is on. You do the same here. I want to whack this one on, boom, the mod is on. And that's it. As simple as that, and it gives you some active buff. This works exactly the same for your armor. You want to click F again, and you can put in these mod slots. At the start of the game, you might be looking here in this section on the bottom right and think, I don't know what any of this stuff is. What do you mean? What are these? They are mods that you can put on your gear. You can only put them on your backpack, your mask, and your chest piece. The rest is just cosmetic. So those are the only 3 items that you can mod, but I would recommend doing it. Again, I played through most of the story without doing it, but I'm hoping that you don't have to. But apart from that, I think that's actually it. I think that is a good landing point and a good starting point for anybody that is new to the game on how to do it. Just go out there, have fun, use some of these tips that are going to help guide you through it, but just enjoy it. Enjoy the main story, enjoy the game. I had an absolute blast from level 1 to level 40, and it continues once you hit level 40. But that's going to be it for me. Hope some of these tips helped you out. If they did, let me know down below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button, because we've got a lot more of this content coming. I'm a very new player. I'm hoping more of the new players are going to join me on my journey. If you've already been on the journey, leave more feedback down below and more suggestions that you have for people starting off. I definitely made this video in the opinion of not overwhelming people, because when you get overwhelmed with information, for me, it makes the game not fun anymore. So these were very basic tips that I just learned along my journey. Thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next one.